One of the first things I learned was to swim. Pushed out of nest by motherly hands, shoved into oblivion, suffocating, praying to float under 12 acres of water, low simmering my natural unruly essence, I learned to swim, and I hated it. But I learned to swim. Compromising popularity for boastful bullying, I learned to swim and I hated it. I learned to pretend to swim in a pool of like-minded fish. See, you will find it hard to succeed in a university of like-minded fish. I cannot help that my colors do not strike your senses, rotate your cranium as vibrant enough, or invite you to believe that I am something that you would choose first out of a glass bowl at a pet shop. See, nightmares of Vaseline forcing shadowed smiles. The woven freedom never comes for me, but the plastic prison does. The stone shackles summoned me to the bottom. One day, while sinking, I experienced abuse, limb splits. Do you know when stitches are administered to closed, numb lids, you don't feel, but you can see everything? Everything from needles threading each piece back together, over, under is how most of us learn to stitch hems and buttons on passed-down clothing. After bright light came darkness. See, insanity breeds in darkness. Walls seem closer in darkness. Water seems deeper in darkness. And oceans encompass same thoughts of waves that never lead toward the shoreline or prayed for a lighthouse. But I still learned to swim, hating every moment. Breaking away from the bayous and chateaus meant for death that have been continuously escaped from by the Edmond Dantes of the world, transfigured, lost fin, Santana, driftwood, floating through overly filled cesspools of my fear, your jealousy. I don't fit in a filtered tank. Years spent on the other side of classroom rulers and chalky erasers, trips to principals' offices and lands of enchanted hallways where I was the sole ruler. I learned to pretend to swim in eerily white scribbled chalk lines on brilliant bright blackboards. To them, I was a nigger. Never to amount to anything. Spent afternoons breaking sound barriers and becoming adjusted to dusting off my daydreams. Painted on black face always screams progression, and white face in dark waters just screamed. Escaped through chalk repetition. These white lines do not define me. Just like I was never made to follow black and white signs, chalk outlines may have been relevant in the past, but they will never be the determination standard of our future. See, I am that blackboard, downgraded to storage at the end of a musty basement hallway where I remain imprisoned and confused. Write me a story about how salt water turned into a blessing, into a healing, into a washing clean. Please, don't just dust off my dreams and claim them as your own. Too much salt in open wounds has reversed effects, and my ancestors learned to swim in adversity. And hopefully this story will end in a happily ever after, where you will open your eyes and see that the first thing I learned to do was to swim, and that we do not belong in your stereotypical downgraded beliefs. That while you were being real with your breaststroke and your doggy paddles, that I was only pretending to be a part of your synchronized team of like-minded fish. When in reality, a gold medal will never be achieved between me and you. See, I am a beta, a black American fighting fish, and while you and your ignorance learned to drown, the first thing I learned to do was to swim. Thank you.